What's up, ninjas? My name is Sam World. This is my curtain of black v-necks. You know you're a real DJ when you have this many. So over the weekend I went to go see Tachami play in Mala, and I went ham on the merch. You can see here I have the shirt, I have the hat, so I'm poor right now. So this tutorial is going to be the poor man's way to making percussive hits. So if you're poor, that means you're probably Mexican, and that means that you probably have a backyard like me where you're gonna have a lot of cool stuff to do Foley stuff. Now if you've been around the scene for a while, you'll always come across these free sample packs of Foley recordings. Some are paid, most likely made by a Mexican like me in his backyard, as I'm gonna show you. Now for this tutorial you're gonna need an iPhone, which you probably couldn't afford, so God knows how you got it, and we're gonna be using the recorder in it to actually record ourselves hitting some shit. So this is a fun part of this tutorial, so come with me through my holy wall of black v-necks. So like I said, you know, if you're a Mexican, you probably have a lot of stuff to work with. You know, we have a dumpster full of dog shit right there. We have random bottles. We have untouched, and you know, we have a fucking elephant. Probably gonna have a gardening tools because you're Mexican. You know, so we're gonna be using this. You probably can't afford a stand either, so you gotta train your dog to hold this for you. Can you hold it? Hold the thing. Alright guys, so we're gonna go into the voice memos app here, and we are gonna be hitting record. Make sure to place it anywhere that you're gonna hit it, you know, close to where you're gonna hit something by, and let's get to this. Alright, so if you're a producer, that was probably a good workout since you probably don't get to the gym, so we gotta take this out. But once you do this, guys, there's no coming back, no redemption. You know, this is a poor man's way, and once you do it this way, it's so much fun. You're gonna get a good workout. But let's go to my studio where we're gonna process these samples. Alright guys, so we are here inside of Ableton. Now I've gotten my favorite parts of the samples. This is gonna be one of my favorite ones here. And we're gonna have a couple more around there. We also have one here of scissors. Now, one of the things that people are going to ask for sure is how do you get rid of the white noise? One of the things, guys, is that if you cut it precisely when the hit happens, you're not going to be able to pick up on that noise floor, as many people would call it. However, if you are still worried, you can use a gate. For instance, in that, you know, scissor sample that I'm going to be using to teach you guys how to make kind of cool little kind of transformer sounds with it, we can use a gate to get rid of that noise in between. So we use a gate. There is going to be some more texture to that sound. So make sure that you play with the gate, with the attack, the release on it to get it perfectly the way you want it. But once we have that here, guys, for instance here, we are going to be using a sampler to do this. Now, I was checking out Contact just to kind of have a reference of how the Contact hits are sounding like. So those are going to be found here. Again, you know, the quality of Contact is there for sure, but this is just a way for people that want to have fun. You know, I am by all means not saying I'm an expert sound designer when it comes to these kind of hits and movies, but I'm just teaching you guys the way I know, the thing I like about it. So let's delete all of this here, which is just, again, all for fun. We're going to be having a bit of fun here. So here we're going to go with this shot. I really actually like it. Or how about we go with this one? I think I kind of like the attack on this and that kind of release on it. It sounds like boom, comes back, and it's pretty cool. And what we're going to do is now use here the sampler. We're going to drag that bad boy in there. So let's go into the sampler, drag it in. Now if you want to play at its original speed, you're going to be playing the C3. Now, the way that the sample gets, you know, played at higher pitches with the sampler and lower pitches is that for higher pitches, it increases the speed of it. And for lower pitches, it slows it down. So you can see that we kind of have this cool, different vibe with the sample. This is going to be called like time stretching. Very cool stuff there that we can do for sure. And I'll teach you how to use that, when to play lower notes and how to do it and why you would want to do it. So let's start with the original sample, which is just going to be a very standard hit there. What we're going to be doing is putting an EQ, and you know, with this EQ, don't think about it as mixing. Think about it more as a creative EQ. That means getting the sample to sound the way you want. For instance, you think, oh, the sample lacks a little bit of low end, I want more low end on it, then by all means, go to the moon with it. You know, just, you know, kind of fine tune how you want it. Let's say, I want a little bit more highs on it, a little bit more air. And you just see creative EQ right there. Don't be afraid to go to the moon with this. And you know what I mean by that. To the moon! No! You know, we have to do that with these kind of creative sound design. And don't be scared about it not being in phase, because you're only using one sample. You don't have two samples playing at once. It's only one, so it's not gonna get out of phase like many people are gonna say. You know, get scared of. You know, I can already see the comments coming in. All right, with that being done here, guys, another cool thing we can also add is overdrive distortion. You know, play with the overdrive. A cool thing is you can duplicate the overdrive so you can have one be more on the bottom. And then, you know, you can have that kind of have that going on and play around with it a bit. You know, right, there's kind of sounding like kind of really cool futuristic kind of guns there. Now, I also love the OTT, and you can't go wrong with it. However, if you want to go with the standard compressor that everyone tends to do, go with a preset like the drum kick or drum snare to start things off. You know, you're definitely going to get really cool sounds coming out of this. Now, let's say you're trying to go for more of a kind of like a cinematic hit or something like that. The key thing with those guys is going to be the reverb on them, in all honesty. Yeah, you know, sound designers at a high caliber that are doing this for a living with native instruments, and they have the money to go into studios, high quality ones with nice microphones from every direction, so they can give someone more options. That's what you're getting with higher priced percussive hits, is more options to have the center mic or the sides mics and all that cool stuff. But if you're just looking to do this for fun, again, use it in some of your songs, then by all means do it this way if you don't have the money to get contact DIY. So let's say we want to go with a more cinematic kind of hit like that. Let's add reverb. That's going to be the key thing there. Now go with some presets, start from there, and see if you can find one that really fits what you're kind of looking for. I'm going to try the old barrel. You know, let's lower the wet on. You know, let me put the EQ. Now keep in mind, signal flow is very important. So if my EQ is in front of the reverb, that means my EQ is EQing the reverb. The size of the... Okay, so let's try outer space. That sounds actually pretty cool right there. Now you can see you lose kind of like that nice transient hit on it. So just keep in mind with these kind of things, you know, this is the diffusion network is going to be sort of, think of it as an EQ. And let's add an OTT to kind of get this to be more in the front of the mix here. So move these back. Now you can kind of hear this sample is in stereo. Now the way you avoid this when using reverb is there is a stereo knob in the reverb that we can kind of lower. And that's really going to help. Now we can also here go and reduce the sample. And you can hear the OTT is really bringing out that kind of decay time here that we have on the reverb. It's gonna be there forever with that OTT, so do be careful with it. So there we have some really cool stuff, really cool sound design that we can kind of play with there, guys. Now, taking this even further, let's say that you're like, oh, okay, I'm cool with percussive hits, you know, I kind of get what you're doing. One of the cool things about the sampler in Ableton that I really like is the oscillation section. That means that we can apply FM to the synth. So for instance, let's say that we lower the speed on it, like so. Now, what can I do with that? Well, one of the cool things is here, we can apply this FM. The volume is going to be how much we're applying. So let's be careful with that there. Let's increase the chorus. So we can start getting really cool stuff there. Now, here we're going to have attack, decay, sustain, and release. The way I want you to think about this is the way the FM is applied. So do you want the FM to come in slow? Or do you want the FM to be instantaneously? That's what you're going to do with the attack. Decay is how long it takes for it to go back down. So for instance, let's say we have a very short decay. You can kind of see there what we're doing with it. So some really cool kind of experimental sound design, which I think will work really well for movies. You know, we can even go crazy. Now, we do have different wavetables as well, like saws. All right, guys, so here we have the scissors. Now, let's make something even cooler of this. The first thing we can do, we have the scissors going. Let's slow it down. So it starts to sound really kind of cool. You know, it's kind of like slow motion. Now, what we're going to be doing is going into the pitch here, and we can spread that so it gives us a stereo image. Now it's on the sides. We can turn on the oscillator, and we can do different things here with the sine, you know, apply that effect. You know, and see which one's going to work best. Let's try maybe a soft D, because I love that. Let's apply that reverb. Maybe this creative EQ. The OTT. All from me cutting with scissors. You can see, you know, this video should be called something else. Cinematic sounds for poor people or something. But So definitely, you know, work with that time stretching and all that, guys. How about we give the FM a little bit of a tap? There we go. So you can see we can get really cool kind of things with this. This opens the doors for very creative EQing. Oof, that one was nasty. So, you know, guys, I hope this video inspires you guys to do what I did. Go to your backyard, hit some shit, and then just get into creative sound design by doing these kind of things, making your own percussive hits and your own kind of cinematic kind of cool things that, you know, definitely if you think about it, you can use these kind of sounds in movies. But anyways, Ninjas, you guys take care. This video was on creative sound design, I guess, and you guys have an amazing day. If you like this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and you guys have an amazing day.